Yeah.
All right, golden. Okay. This episode is the original podcast.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure it's not the original podcast. But, so, Florida State,
Yeah.
somewhere around 85-ish,
85.
1985,
And what year did you graduate high school?
82.
82. Okay.
So I went to community college for a little bit,
Right.
and the buddies convinced me to move up with them. Might as well be their roommate,
Mm-hmm.
and ended up finishing school up there.
Did you ever dorm there?
No.
No. Okay.
No, in fact, that's kind of what the incentive was, is they wanted to we got a 3-bedroom with a den,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you call it, townhouse or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom, I hung up these bifold doors,
Yeah.
closed the den and made it into a bedroom.
Okay.
So that way we split the rent.
Gotcha.
So we had 4 of us in there. And so it was myself, Mike, Tom, and Chris. Chris was Topher, Tom was Tomas, Mike was Mike, and Roy was Roy.
Right.
We didn't have nicknames, I guess. And so we would go hit Mike's beer barn. And then back in those days, drinking age was 18.
Yeah.
And there was no law against
Good old
drinking and
days.
driving.
Yeah. Wasn't there a drive-through bar at
That was
Florida State?
Mike's beer barn.
Yeah, that was Mike's beer barn. It was
Yeah.
a drive-through.
So
It was a drive-through bar at Florida State.
You could get a mixed drink. I mean, you could go in the store too, but you
Yeah.
literally drove inside this barn. It was all covered.
Uh-huh.
Pull up, order. You could drive away
Did-
with a mixed drink and a straw and a cherry on top.
Did you show me that when we went to Florida State? I feel like you did. I think you
It
might have
sounds
told me, like,
familiar.
this
I
is
think
where
so.
It was. Yeah.
I think the drive-through part's probably closed down, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we would go there because they had the cheapest beer in town,
Uh-huh.
and of course Natty Light was our, you get $4 for a case of beer.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that was about all we could afford, basically. So you get a case, you go home, you start hammering them.
Yeah.
Then we would go out to, occasionally, of course we'd bring our beers with us,
Yeah.
and sneak them in or go in and out of the club, and drink in the parking lot and then come back in. I don't remember getting a whole lot of mixed drinks in the bar. But nevertheless, when the night would wind down, right, it's 2:00 in the morning, we'd all
Yeah.
come back to the apartment, we'd get in the living room, I know, drinking and driving is not a good thing.
Sure.
We've learned.
Sure.
But nothing happened, thank God. Nevertheless, we would get back to the apartment and we would bust out a cassette recorder. And we would turn it on. We'd all get in the living room, we're all hammered, and we would turn it on and just kind of forget it was there. And then we would just start talking shit.
Who would bring up, like, let's bring this out, let's turn it on?
I think because we noticed Chris was when he would get drunk, he's so hilarious.
Okay.
The things he said.
Someone
Someone said, we gotta record
Yeah.
this. And Tom's like, I got it. I got
Yeah,
the
yeah,
recorder,
yeah. Yeah.
Click. And we would set it in the middle. And, those tapes were like 90 minutes. And
Wow.
we would talk. I think we probably just ended it, somewhere either before that thing or we all just passed out in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so hilarious then to listen to yourself the next day.
Yeah.
The things you would say, you're in college and you're pontificating the future of the world, and then it just kind of gets weird, and you start to talk about, I don't think I was into aliens at the time, but, it was like other weird stuff, or we would talk
Yeah.
martial arts or
Uh-huh.
whatever. But yeah, that was our, I don't know where those tapes are. I'm going to have to ask Tom.
So you would just all get together, you'd have a cassette tape going, and you would just talk about whatever.
Just like this.
What we're doing right now.
Only
Yeah.
being intoxicated,
Right.
people say some weird stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember in this apartment, we found a bar somewhere, like literally a padded wooden bar.
Uh-huh.
Where did we get that? I don't know.
Yeah.
We put it in our living room,
Yeah.
and so everything. A lot of things happened in that living room. Like when we had Hurricane David
Uh-huh.
hit Pensacola in
85?
No, it was after that, but it was probably like 86 or
86.
something, 87.
Okay.
Hit Pensacola, Tallahassee, the whole panhandle. We were out of power for like 9 days. We didn't know it, so we didn't know how long it was going to last.
Yeah.
And we were out of power. We took this Frisbee. So people would just keep coming over, right? Bringing beers. Like it was like early, the first 2 days of the storm.
Yeah.
Everybody's like stocked up. Hurricane party, yeah, you know. And
hurricane party.
so it was getting late and dark, and we needed a light. And there was a Frisbee that someone had put a candle in the middle.
Okay.
And lit the candle. Well, it had melted down.
Yeah.
So the whole Frisbee was full of wax. And every time somebody would come in or walk by, they'd take a piece of paper, light it, and stick it in, and it would turn into like a wick.
Oh.
And so
okay.
you've got this Frisbee full of
Yeah.
wax with like 72 different little candles, really, little
Yeah.
wicks burning at the same time.
Yeah.
And we were having chunky salsa sandwiches because we were out of our main food by the second day, so we were down to chunky salsa on bread,
It's on white bread.
just on white bread.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
just nasty stuff like that. And so we're all in the living room. It's dark. Party's winding down. People like, hey, we got to put that out, you know.
Yeah. These
And
people just went home in the hurricane? Or-
They all it was storming for a couple of days, but they were
Uh-huh.
just next door in the buildings next door.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
so they're all attached.
Right.
Right. So you just kind of ran out the back.
Yeah.
Someone took a beer, went to pour it on this candle.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the thing was like right at the superheated state.
Okay.
So the minute the beer hit it, the whole thing turned into a column of flame, and all of the wax caught fire, and it shot straight up like
man.
this column. Everybody's like, it hit the ceiling, and it just burnt the shit out of the ceiling. Wax went everywhere. Column came down. Everyone's like, "Oh, get it out of here!" And one of our buddies grabbed it
With his hands?
with his hands, and
Yeah.
because it was like close to the sliding glass door, so they opened
Uh-huh.
the sliding glass door, chuck it out into the rain.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, it was so molten that the Frisbee was barely retaining its shape.
Yeah.
So as soon as he sunk his hands into
Oh my
it,
God.
it went into the hot, melty plastic.
God.
And he chucked the thing out, and all his fingertips had white Frisbee melted to them.
Oh.
Oh, so he spent the rest of the night with his hands in the cooler because he had just burnt the tips of his fingers off. And by the next day, you know, after the rain settled, we finally kind of power came back on. You could see really what was up. We had to paint the ceiling
Oh, man.
because it was all just burnt black. You know,
Yeah.
we had to comb the wax out of the carpeting.
Dude.
It had splattered everywhere.
Wow.
Could have burnt that place down.
Yeah.
Bad, but yeah, stupid college kids, man.
Wow.
Good times though.
Yeah.
All right, that was,